Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
All right, here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very fun 3-hour program lined up today. In 30 minutes, we'll talk ACC football. Media Day is going on in that region of the country, specifically the Clemson Tigers. Chapel Fowler is going to join the program at that time. Wes Reynolds in an hour on golf this week and Big Ten football. VSiN host Will Hill coming up later on, MLB, football, NFL that is, and also, honestly, in like the last week, he took one of the worst beats that you're ever going to hear. And Derek Stevens in studio. Big announcement today on the morning show. That's to close up shop. Third hour of today's program. Pauly, how you feeling? Everything all right?
Today, yeah. Yeah. You all right, my man?
Are you, did you, please tell me, I'm good. Please tell me that in recent days or going back to last week on vacation, you grabbed at least a nibble, somehow, some way on the Brewers to win this division.
Yes, Cubs were too high. Yes.
So you did something with that?
Yes, I mean, 260 was crazy.
Okay, thank you.
With that, yes, but I didn't get National League like you and Mike Palm did. And I know with the blackjack draft, I thought they were in discussion, but I didn't think they'd go top 5, and they went number 4. But this is a great story, what's going on with the Brewers.
11 straight wins.
Yep.
Best record now, folks, in all of Major League Baseball. And last night was their 10th shutout of the season. Like, is this full season? I'm not asking for like 10 more shutouts, but is this unbelievable pitching sustainable? Like through the end of September?
Don't you think the Phillies have a better rotation, though?
Ooh.
I would take that. That's why I was high on the Phillies. Because you get in a playoff time, and you're going Wheeler, Suarez, Sanchez, who are you going to throw out there? That's going to be tough to beat. But,
yeah, I lean yes.
Okay, but I mean, how big of a Peralta fan are you? But what Woodruff's done, and then the kid goes tonight?
Yeah, right.
He hasn't started since that great start against the Dodgers. That's 2 weeks ago. So we've been waiting on Mizorowski here after that great performance against the Dodgers, and he goes tonight as well. But to do this and 11 in a row and what they've done and take care of Seattle, and how about going 6-0 against the Dodgers?
I know.
This is wild.
So last night, probably about 2 minutes before first pitch, I noticed that the number just kept moving on Seattle. I'm like, they're taking more money? This makes no sense. I had to fire on the Brewers in that game. Grabbed them plus 110. And they were getting no hit, through 5? That was a great pitching matchup through 5 between Kirby and Woodruff. And then the team just exploded. They eventually won 6-0. And tonight, I'm probably going to do the same thing. Now, I understand that Gilbert has been much better at home than he is on the road. The numbers reflect that. In fact, he's like Cy Young at home, basically. His numbers are way worse on the road. But if this it has moved a little bit anyway today in the Brewers' favor. But if the Mariners take more money and the Brewers creep up to like plus 110, plus 112, 115, I have to play it at that price. I disagree with the number.
Yeah, this is like Toronto, New York, Part 2. How are the Blue Jays dogs in all 5 games?
There you
go. They won
go.
all 5, right? But they're finally the favorite today. So yeah, I take the Brewers as well. And keep this run going. And a lot, to your original question is, it's going to be great to be on the air next Thursday. But what happens at the deadline? Do the Brewers make moves? Does Seattle get a stick? You would think all these teams would be in on Suarez, who hits a home run every night, and he could be available. So what happens at the deadline also could determine what happens with some of these races in August and September.
Yeah, I want to run some of these division prices by you, Pauly, and definitely shop around in the NL Central. Keep in mind now, the Brewers, as of right now, going forward, they have the 7th hardest remaining strength of schedule in all of baseball. The Cubs have the 4th easiest. The Cubs, I'll give you a couple of national sports books, and I'll go here locally as well in Las Vegas to give you some comparisons. The Cubs are minus 145 at FanDuel and at DK. The Cubs are minus 178 here at Circa. They're minus $2 down the street at Westgate. Mm-hmm. Still minus $2.
Yeah.
So you can still find the Brewers around plus 150 in the neighborhood if you're in the Las Vegas area, if you have access to Circa or the Westgate. I'll give you one in the American League because I'm putting together more cross-sport parlays now that the NFL season is coming up. The Astros won again last night. The Mariners were shut out by the Brewers. The Houston Astros have the easiest schedule remaining in all of baseball. Mm-hmm. So they are minus 525 at the Westgate. They're minus 410 at Circa. They are minus 320 right now at DraftKings. That's too low, Paul.
They were a lot lower than that the last couple of days. That's crazy, the big move. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, but we've seen a big jump in the last couple of days with that.
If I had
to
access,
win the division, yep. And,
sure.
Valdez is $1.20 tonight. I like him a lot. They've won his last 12 starts. Personally, he's 9-0 with a 1.91. Here we go.
Agreed. I like him.
Yeah.
That number I think is too cheap, and I think that his K prop is juicy as well. But if you want to build some same game parlays at DraftKings specifically, I'd throw the Astros on there at minus 320 as one of the legs.
I like that. Yes. I also think this is wide open. What could happen? Detroit's going through their struggles, although they have an easy schedule the rest of the way and should be able to get the 1 seed. Let me throw 2 teams at you, one from each league. How about Texas? Tough schedule, most difficult remaining schedule for the contenders in the American League. Can they get a stick at the deadline? Great that you have DeGrom and Eovaldi, what you have. Good at home, but you're getting finally over 500. Can you sweep the A's? You're 3 back of the wild card.
That's not a
you want
big
anything?
number.
Yeah. I'm thinking also how dangerous they could be if they get in. Because you're talking about a series where you're going DeGrom and Eovaldi and guys with minuscule ERAs.
Sure, because what would be the narrative on Texas if, in fact, by next Thursday, this team adds like a big bopper in the middle of that lineup, right? And you're going to look back and say, oh, damn, I should have grabbed 25-1. But that's why at this time of year, it's always such a big gamble. You don't know which teams are, unless some GMs will flat out come out and tell you. I know a couple of years ago, the GM for the Astros basically said, way before the deadline, we are absolutely going to add another pitcher. And they went out and got Verlander, I believe, that year at the deadline.
Yeah. So it's frustrating what's going on in Seattle. They get this great rotation, but now the bats have come alive, although Raleigh's in a bit of a slump. But can they do this enough offensively and sneak in the playoffs? Boston also has a tough schedule. And Texas, 2 back in the loss column, by the way, of the Red Sox. The Rays, who are in a funk all of a sudden, they're only a game and a half back. And how about Cleveland? 3.5 back. They lost 10 in a row, but now have won 9 of 11.
Yeah, and they have one of the hottest offenses in all of baseball now.
Yeah, it's baseball, right?
They've scored the second most runs in baseball going back, I think, the last 10 games.
And then the team I'm going to give you in the National League, the Padres. 3rd easiest schedule left in the National League. 35-13 against teams with a losing record. Big win last night. They're up 3.5 games for the final wild card spot. As they said today, we are built for the second half.
I agree.
Last year, they had the best record post-All-Star break. They took off and went 43-20. So they did it last year. They're talking a big game that they can do it again. The organization has said they're going to make moves at the deadline, and they're 3.5 up on the reeling Cardinals, and the Giants are a mess right now. Also 3.5 back as San Francisco has lost 6 in a row and 18 of 29. So I'm built for the second half. I did it last year. And I have one of the easiest schedules left. And I'm good against bad teams.
So are you talking about betting them to win the National League? Do you want to take a slice of them to win their division? They are as high as 11-1.
Like the last 2, yes.
You want both
National League, go National League and then to win the division. Because I think they could catch the Dodgers, and the Dodgers shouldn't be that high. They shouldn't be minus 2,200.
And don't forget about this. They are getting Michael King back in August.
That's right.
Right around the corner. So I was reading a story on them today that they could actually be sellers and buyers, meaning they want to bail on Vasquez in their rotation, get him out, but then add a piece or two that would actually help him out more than that. So I can see that happening. They've been active over the last couple of years. Don't forget, this team has made runs in the playoffs before in recent years with the same core, basically. And last year, they were facing a bullpen game against the Dodgers. They had L.A. dead and buried in that series. And they went, and the Dodgers pitching stepped up big time. Yamamoto in Game 5, and the Padres sticks went completely silent, and they couldn't score a run. They had that series in the bag, and they couldn't finish them off. They could not sweep the leg, and so I think they kind of have that taste in their mouth still. And again, with a super active like GM over the last handful of years, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I mean, to have a piece of the Padres at a pretty nice number right now in the playoffs, you're telling me they can't do damage again? Sure, they could. How about this? The Blue Jays now 4 up on the Yankees.
Clinch the tiebreaker with one more win
over this team.
Let's make it 5. It's a 5-game lead then.
Sure. So their SOS is middle of the pack. They're as low as minus 105 at DK to win their division. Here at Circa minus 125. Westgate has a minus 140. So in Las Vegas, books are much higher on Toronto than they are on the Yankees. For example, you can grab the Yankees here at Circa at plus 150. Nationally, FanDuel and DK only have plus 115 on the Yanks.
Yeah, absolutely fugazi, that team. Again, look at the record without Fried.
Look at the record against AL East teams.
That too, yes. Right.
They have the worst record of all 5 teams in their division.
Mm-hmm. And maybe the Red Sox pull a surprise and make a big move. They should. But
yeah, they should.
Don't know. That's a guessing game about what they're going to do next week, if they could make a move.
Yeah.
But certainly that was surprising what Buehler did. He was great. They lost the game. First walk-off catcher's interference since 1971. And Phillies get the win 3-2. Wheeler was great again.
What a way to lose a game.
Yeah.
If you're the Sox.
Yeah.
You can.
That's happened a bunch to Alvarez, as I understand it. And he also had a pass ball, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. I can't believe that's happened before. It was Johnny Bench in 71.
You never know which way it's going to go for certain teams after the All-Star break.
Uh-huh.
Narratively speaking here, you could absolutely say that the Red Sox caught the break at the exact wrong time. Right? It hasn't affected the Blue Jays for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's complete garbage and has nothing to do with it whatsoever, but they were red hot, one of the best teams in baseball going into the break, and then all of a sudden,
that's right.
There it comes, bam.
I agree with you.
Losing and not being very good on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't lose a game like that.
Yeah, well, the schedule's been tough, too. But
yeah, Cubbies here.
You don't want to break when you're winning 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Keep playing.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN. The Sports Betting Network. Up next, the NFL. This team finally has some hope, but the league did them zero favors with the schedule. We'll tell you which team it is coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The team that we're talking about here that finally has some hope, but the NFL did them zero favors with their schedule, just made a signing. The Las Vegas Raiders signed Jamal Adams. Doesn't do much for me. Way past his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he actually turned out to be the player anybody thought he was going to be when he came out of college anyway.
I think it's a massive upgrade with the coaching, though.
Well, I mean,
huge.
So here's what they have going for them, right? I mean, you get rid of one of the worst coaches we've seen in football in a while, in Antonio Pierce. He's bottom of the barrel, as bad as it gets. You bring in a proven guy like Pete Carroll. You bring in Geno Smith. You draft Ashton Genty, and you're now going into year number 2 of Brock Bowers, who basically was the best rookie tight end in the history of the sport.
Yep. Rave reviews from Chip Kelly about Genty as well.
Right.
And I love Kelly as the OC. And I just think that's one of the biggest turnarounds of what you're going to have. With a proven winner at coach and Carroll, the upgrade from Pierce, and then you get Chip Kelly to call the plays and run the offense as well. And finally, I will say a serviceable quarterback, no doubt.
Now, I was actually kind of excited about this team coming into the year before the schedule was set. And then I kind of did a 180 on it. Like, nope, not going to happen. And so I'm still going to remain optimistic, but it's more down the road. It's more long-term than it is short-term here because of what you just said and who they brought in the offseason. Paul, I mean, come on. Their opponents this year have more than a week to prep for 6 of their games. Their opponents have less than a week to prep in 2 of the games. That's a -4 differential overall, which hurts the Raiders. Teams have a rest advantage, has a rest disadvantage in 6 games. The team has a rest advantage in 1 game. That's the Raiders. Mm-hmm. They have a rest advantage overall throughout the entire year in 1 game. And by the way, that comes late in the season on the road and a 1 o'clock Eastern start time against the Philadelphia Eagles. 6 games overall, they are at a rest disadvantage. Huge difference yet again.
Mm-hmm.
They play a team with a short week road game twice. And overall, I believe the rest differential is at minus 19 days for the season. It's the second worst since, last year, the number 1 was the 49ers.
In the 20s.
That's right.
Yes.
And so it ranks 9th overall last 25 years going back per Warren Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big of a screw job they got by the NFL schedule makers.
Yes. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad. There's reasons to bet the over. There's reasons to bet the under. I know we ran into Dr. Leo Marvin a longtime VSiN viewer, and he staying here at Circa, the all-in package. He bet 20-1 to win the division. He made the case that he thinks it can happen, and they get in Gino in and also Carroll. 26th last year in first quarter points per game, 25th in average halftime margin, and the ridiculous philosophy Pierce had of run early and often. And what they did, remember the play calling inside the red zone as well?
Of course, terrible.
And what he was doing was like, you can't run the ball. What are you doing? 32nd EPA, 32nd in success rate, 30th in explosiveness, 30th in yards after contact per rush, and now you get the big boy to come in there as well. So, but the division, my God, the division that they're in. So they're like Atlanta and they're like Pittsburgh. There are a ton of cases for the over and there's a lot of cases for the under. It's tough.
Yeah, and so here's more of the good. The Raiders offense ranked in quarterback accuracy last year across the league. Their quarterbacks ranked 26th overall. Well, if you go back the last 4 years, Geno Smith has ranked in terms of overall accuracy second, first, and I think there's another first in there as well. Last year, their number one target, Brock Bowers, ranked number 29 out of 36 tight ends in accuracy rate for tight end targets. Think about that for a second. Their number two target, Jacoby Myers, ranked number 63 out of 103 wide receivers in accuracy rate to wide receiver targets. So they're going to go from one of the worst quarterback rooms in the entire league in terms of overall accuracy to the guy who has been and graded out better than Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins in recent years in overall accuracy. Plus, the Seattle offensive line last year, they ranked at or near the very bottom of key categories such as pressure rate allowed, no blitz pressure rate allowed, offensive false starts, and offensive holding. Terrible year. He's going to be playing behind a Raiders offensive line that at least ranks 17th in pass block win rate and 20th in pressure rate allowed. So they're also playing 12 dome games this year, 9 at home. Then they play in Indy, in LA, and in Houston. And Smith's numbers indoors compared to outdoors the last 3 years are much better when he's playing inside. So there's some more positive for the team. And if you think about what Brock Bowers did last year with all those numbers I just told you, if Geno's going to make him the focal point and Pete's going to be on board with that and so is Chip Kelly, is he really going to come back to the pack or is he going to put up similar numbers?
Yeah, and I think that week one game's huge. You
So
can you can definitely go into New England and win that game. And then that sets the tone because you can beat the Chargers out here on Monday night, Bears at home, Colts, Titans. These are all winnable games, and you're going to be favored in some of those games. So the week one game's huge. And as I mentioned yesterday, the great breakdown from Warren Sharp about how he's anti-Chargers, that the defense played the sixth easiest schedule of offenses and the sixth easiest schedule of quarterbacks last year, and the defense looked better than what it was. They faced Minshew, Bryce Young, Fields, Nix twice, Hainer, Rattler, Winston, Levis, Cousins, May, O'Connell. A lot of guys either benched, backups, whatever. So there's a case to be made right there, the over, and maybe get aggressive second or third place. And a big injury can change things too.
Sure. Now, by the way, the Raiders' rest disadvantage starts right away in week 2. They play on the road in New England like you talked about in week 1. They come back home. Week 2, they get the Chargers. Chargers have that extra rest because they're playing on Friday night of week 1. However, that game, of course, is overseas. Then, in week 3, they play at the Commanders. Washington, coming off Thursday Night Football, will have 4 extra days rest to get ready for that team. And that's because the Raiders are playing that game against the Chargers on Monday night. I'd really like them overall if they just had a balanced schedule, but they do not.
Yeah. Good points. Where are you at with the Steelers?
Well, I think Will Hill's coming up in about an hour. He has one of the best bets in the entire NFL betting guide here at VSiN, in my opinion, and that is higher than $3 on the Steelers to be eliminated in the wild card round. Because I think they're going to be a playoff team. I think that's certainly feasible. I don't know. I mean, it's going to depend on matchups, obviously, and overall health and where that playoff game would be played at. But I don't think they're going to be good enough to probably win a playoff game overall.
9 years without doing so.
Right.
And again, that Cousins Sal bet the Steelers to be down at halftime and win the game. They've won double-digit games in each of the last 2 seasons despite leading at half and just half of their, to be trailing at halftime and win the game. Despite leading at halftime in just half of their games. It hasn't happened since 2000. They won 10 games last year despite leading at halftime in 5 games. Same result in 2023. Most teams that win 10 games have a decent offense. There have been 61 teams to win 10 or more games in the last 5 seasons. Of those 61 teams, the Steelers over the last 2 years rank 59th and 60th in yards per play, 58th and 59th in success rate, 56th and 60th in EPA per play. But now, okay, what can the old man do? And you have Metcalf, and I love getting Jonnu Smith. So defense is going to be there. Again, tough schedule, tough division, but
if you love Jonnu Smith, what do you think of getting Jalen Ramsey?
I'd like to trade, yeah. I think Miami's out of their minds.
So do I, yeah.
Yeah, right. But they pull games out of their ass. You know, the Atlanta game, kicking 6 field goals, whatever.
They will probably do that again this year.
They'll surprise Baltimore in a game, which always happens.
To make it close, right?
Jackson will turn the ball over. Yeah, right. So
and Paul, I'll be honest with you. As we get closer here again to the season, I'm not nearly as high on the Bengals as some other people are. A lot of people are picking them to win the division. No, thank you. You can have that. I'm not going to waste my money on that bet because I don't think they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's worth it, I should say. The Steelers can finish in second place in that division.
Yeah.
They could be ahead of Cincinnati. That I will not be surprised at for 1 second.
Yeah, and that we ran down yesterday, that this Bengal defense was horrendous, but look at the quarterbacks they played, too. I mean, you still couldn't stop these guys. And
absolutely.
It's embarrassing what happened. And now you got Hendrickson, who won't report to training camp.
Burrow's going to have to be Superman 2 consecutive years. Like the margin of error for him in that offense, it's basically null and void.
Yep. Get our NFL betting guide. It's out now, and the college guide drops August 5th. You want access to both? Sign up for the football special. Get everything we have to offer. The deal expires July 31st. It's through the Super Bowl for just $175. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits, the dog videos, and full access to the analytics, tools, and pro systems. Don't wait. Incredible offer. It expires July 31st, the day of the Hall of Fame game. VSiN.com/subscribe. Lock it in now. Everything we have to offer through the Super Bowl, the football special, VSiN.com/subscribe.
Now, do I have this right? Is Lou Finicaro booked on this show later in the week?
Yeah. Loves the Cowboys under, even more so than when we talked to him. And is got out his favorite win total on Friday. Okay. He loves it. He says we're going to be shocked by the pick.
He doesn't want to tell us going in.
You want to guess? I'm going to say it's either the Rams or the Chiefs under.
He gave out the Chiefs under 2 years ago, winner. Niners under last year, winner, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll go college football, ACC. Chapel Fowler joins the program coming up next. He covers Clemson football. How does his pecking order look at the top of this league, and how many true contenders will Clemson have?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome in. We're live downtown Vegas. Circa Resort Casino is your spot. Pauly ACC Media Days are ongoing, and we'll hit it here as we head out to the progressive guest line. Chapel Fowler joins the program now. He covers Clemson football for the state newspaper. Chapel, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm great, guys. How are y'all?
Doing really well. I'm looking at the odds right now to win the ACC title game at DraftKings, and now Clemson, they're as low as plus 105. They're ahead of Miami at plus 380. SMU is plus 850, same number as Louisville. Does that sound like the proper pecking order, in your opinion, maybe at or near the top of this league?
I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, I like to see Louisville up in there. I think, they were in the title game, 2 years ago, kind of unexpected. I saw them last year come into Memorial Stadium and really just run all over Clemson in a way that I don't think anybody expected was going to happen. They have a really good running back in Brown. So I'm not surprised to see them up there. I think Clemson, Miami, SMU, Louisville, like we just mentioned, probably one or two kind of random sleeper teams. Maybe that's a Georgia Tech. Maybe it's somebody else. That's pretty fair, I'd say, for the pecking order. And again, not surprised to see Clemson as like a smashing favorite up there at the top, given who they have coming back.
Well, there is a lot of preseason hype to this team. I know Paul is going to run this down. You brought this up a couple times. Phil Steele has him ranked where?
Second
overall in the country, which is incredible. So how, in your opinion, how many true contenders will Clemson have in this conference this year?
I think it'll probably boil down to like 2. In terms of teams that can get to that title, it's easy to start 4-0 in the ACC. It's harder to finish 8-0 or 7-1 or whatever it is that gets you to that championship game and then beat what, by all accounts, seems like it's going to be Clemson on the other side, which is a team with a lot of NFL talent back and guys who came back to make one more run at this thing. So, I'd say from that group that we just mentioned of like Miami, SMU, Louisville, it's probably not a surprise to see one of those teams as one of those other true ACC contenders. I'd probably lean SMU off quarterback alone because I saw Kevin Jennings totally will SMU from down 21 points in the fourth quarter against Clemson last December and get them right on the edge of winning that game and being the ACC champion in their first year in the league. Not as hot on Miami, but of course they're loaded with talent as always. Between one of those 3 teams, Miami, SMU, Louisville, and then again, like I mentioned, I'm sure there's going to be some random dark horse that'll get super hot. I mean, nobody really expected SMU to be in the ACC title game about to beat Clemson last year, right? So whether that's a Tech or Duke or I don't know, Florida State, maybe Castellanos gets really hot. I think it'll end up being 2 contenders, but no idea which ones. But I guess that's kind of the beauty of the season and why we play the games.
Well, they get SMU at home October 18th. They return 17 starters, but I think your objective here that the expectations are a little crazy. Like the second overall ranked team in Steele's magazine. Is it because of how well the offense played in the Texas game and against SMU?
Yeah, I think that Texas game, like, I can't think of a loss that provided a team with more like positive vibes and national good perception heading into the offseason. Like, I do think we need to pump the brakes a little bit on Clemson as a tier 1, like runaway title favorite or right up there with Ohio State, Texas, whoever you want to put in that top list. Like, this team was good last year. They had a really good quarterback that's back. They have a lot of NFL guys that are back and are probably, gone to the league after their junior year next year, guys who were juniors and came back for their senior year, ton of returning production. At the same time, they were 0-3 against the SEC. They lost to Georgia. They lost to South Carolina. They lost to Texas. The only ranked team they beat all of last year, ranking at time of kickoff, was SMU in the ACC title game. So,
yeah,
they've taken care of business against the teams they're supposed to take care of business against. That they haven't exactly done that against the best of the best last year, and then kind of dating back a few years. Like the last time they had a big SEC win like that, I don't know. You think about comparing the top of the ACC to the top of the other conferences. If you want to truly feel like you're a national contender, you got to beat and play those good SEC Big Ten teams. Obviously, the LSU season opener provides a lot of opportunity for that. But I think 2's a little high. They'll probably be a preseason top 10, probably end up, I'd guess, in the AP somewhere around like, I don't know, 4 to 7, 5 to 8 range, which I think is fair. But number 2, personally, if I was a voter, that they would not be right up there on my ballot.
You'd be shocked, though, if they don't make the playoffs. They're minus $2 to make the playoff.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they don't make the playoff this season, it is a pretty resounding, I don't want to say massive, but I mean, this is a pretty resounding disappointment. If they don't make the playoffs, that is a huge letdown. And obviously, I mean, in my opinion, like a huge shortcoming with who they have coming back, the money they've invested in this roster. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty safe bet. It seems like they're on path to do that. All you have to do is get to the ACC title game. I mean, last year you saw them lose an ACC game, still kind of backdoor their way into the title game, take care of business. 3 hours after they lose to South Carolina on their home field, they're still in the playoff because of this ACC title game they end up winning. So, just get to the last game in Charlotte that first Saturday in December and see what happens. Generally, their talent has won out over the years. If you look at how many ACC titles they've won, despite being maybe not even as loaded as this team is. So I think, just that automatic bid makes them a pretty solid contender to make the playoff. Past that, I don't know. But I think making it is kind of the floor for this team to feel like they've done something successful.
Totally fair. All right, follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Chapel Fowler, he covers Clemson football and ACC for the state newspaper. So Klubnik's going to get a lot of run and a lot of support in the Heisman Trophy market, and he might pull it off. I think he's good enough. If they have a solid enough season and he puts up those numbers, he can be right there. What other parts of the team do you think can be a true strength going into the season?
I think defensive line can. That this is a spot that Clemson a little bit mismanaged last year. Part of that was just bad luck with injuries. Peter Woods, who's one of the names that you'll hear as a potential first-round pick from Clemson, got chop blocked by an App State tight end in week 2 and was never really the same. It took him a while to get back up to full speed. He was really good in the opener against Georgia, playing a lot of defensive end. Clemson has moved him back to defensive tackle, which is his natural position, and in my opinion, where he probably should have been playing all of last year instead of trying to swing him out to defensive end to kind of address a lack of depth there. But, he's back in his normal position. TJ Parker, that's another guy who could be like a top 10 pick if things go well this junior year for him. He's in better shape. He kind of came into 2024 a little out of shape. He's admitted that publicly. So with those two guys back and healthy, and then you add the Purdue transfer, Will Helt at defensive end, that's kind of a big shot in the arm for a team that, like I mentioned, was really, really just not deep and not skilled at defensive end at the level they needed to be last year behind Parker. I think that's a group that they can really lean on outside of Klubnik.
Realistic amount of wins this year, 10, 11 in the regular season?
I'd say 10.
Okay.
Last year, 9-3. I'd say their roster this year, mostly the same as last year, is good for that many wins, if not one more, the ball bouncing their way. I forget this sometimes. They were a poor Cade Klubnik pass and film off a bobble and South Carolina interception away from tying that game against South Carolina, sending it to overtime in the last week of the regular season. So, they were right there. That was a close loss. Obviously, the Georgia loss was not close. The Louisville loss was not really close. They had a few close wins. They had some good turnover luck. But I'd say, I think 10 is about where I'd settle on as a number that I'd expect. I think, 9 maybe puts a few alarm bells in fans' heads about playoff potential. But I think 10's pretty fair.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You can follow him on X. He is at Chapel Fowler, and he covers Clemson football in the ACC for the state newspaper. Thanks, Chapel. That was great. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Yep.
Thank you.
And he joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line.
Well, he's right. You 0-3 against the SEC. You start with LSU. You close with South Carolina.
Yeah.
Those games are massive, especially to start against LSU. You're at Louisville.
Sure.
The media, Paul and Phil Steele down on Louisville, which Moss, the quarterback, he has them down in the ACC.
I like him, but...
Yeah, but they also have to play Clemson and SMU back-to-back weeks. They go to Miami. They go to SMU. I'm high on SMU. Like the quarterback, like their coach. And come on with Miami. I can't do it till you can prove you can stop something.
No, I'm not going to be able to either.
So
no.
Beck looked good. He was saying all the right things, but they start with Notre Dame on that Sunday, August 31st. But until you can go out and stop someone on a regular basis, I can't take you seriously. And Miami is getting too much respect here to be plus 380 to win it. And yet SMU, who made the playoff, is plus 850.
Thank goodness for Clemson, by the way. Dabo gets a full week to prepare coming off the bye for Bill Belichick in North Carolina. That's on the road. I'm not even joking. That could be, if they didn't have a bye week there, if they played September 27th at North Carolina after the game against Syracuse, that to me would have trap game written all over it. And Belichick would draw up a typical hoodie special.
Yeah.
They're 40-1 to win the ACC.
I know. I'm interested to see what they look like. Yeah.
And as he talked about, everybody's down in North Carolina. I get it. That makes sense. But are you going to be surprised if one of these teams, from the middle of the pack or down to North Carolina, come and they're hey, knocking on the door to make the ACC title game? Up next, win some, lose some, and we will dust off Top 5 Tuesday with a good one. Movie villains that win, next on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Big ticket cash last night. Most runs scored. Royals 25-1. Erupted in burying the Cubs last night. Highest scoring game. Nats Reds 12-1. Most strikeouts. Wheeler 4-1.
He did it, man.
He did.
The ballpark pal at VSiN.com loved him last night, and it came through.
Cardinals $1.35 up to 180. Beat the Rockies, and the Phillies $2 up to 240. Beat the Red Sox on the catcher's interference walk-off. Angels 12-1 overrun first 5. Cardinals 11-2 overrun first 5. Diamondbacks 10-1 overrun first 5. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. At Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. This guy's got a big following. This guy. This is Enzo. What? The talking dog.
Yes. You have another message you want to share? What's the message? You want to remind all the doggy parents?
Get him, Enzo.
Father's Day is also for the dog dads. Okay.
This is every video that they have up there, and this is Enzo. And even when here's one. Here he's out of treats.
No more.
No more treats, Enzo.
Enzo, all done. You just got 2. Enzo. You just got 2 big treats. You don't need more. No, you don't.
There he is.
You're all done.
That's our guy, the talking dog.
Sebastian.
Yeah?
All done.
That's great. That's great. Never seen that before. That's incredible. He's got his own following on Instagram.
I should give you some videos to put up with Sebastian sometime. I have like minute-long videos of him jibber-jabbering away.
Yeah.
He's trying to say something, but he's got his own language, and I'm like, I just...
Good. Very good.
Yeah, it's great.
Lose some. The chances of your marriage and career being destroyed at a Coldplay concert extremely low, but never zero. How about this story? Can you believe this? And the CEO has to resign? And then the gal he's fooling around with is the HR gal, and they're both married. And why would you behave like that? Why would you act like that? Like the lead singer said when they put him up there on the kiss cam, whatever, either they're having an affair or they're shy.
Yeah.
How about the lady right next to her who was red as a fire hydrant?
Of course.
And she's followed her every step, every job she's gone where that gal's followed her. She knew what was going on as well when they put the camera on him.
How's your poker face?
I know. You can't react like that. You have to just pretend it's normal and you're together. Once you act like that, and then I can't believe the memes. And this is where
memes are
social
incredible.
media crushed it here with what happened. Everything. Oh, so good.
I opened up my phone yesterday after the show. I can't even say who they put up there. They put one up there with Bill Cosby, and I laughed out loud. I was like, that's bad. That's really bad. But there was like 100 of them.
Creativity. I know the creativity, right? Then you got the other people coming in behind, and that's just, you got people from the office there. The one guy's waving his arms or whatever, and then it's, do you have the kiss cam? Should they do it? Other people are saying, hey, come to our concert. You can bring your side piece, whatever.
Yes, right.
I mean, they're nuts, and they both, what are you doing? She's the HR gal.
Yeah.
She's
now, how about this?
Got the side piece.
Right before the show, the New York Post sent out a tweet. The former CEO now, who's been fired, can sue Coldplay.
No way.
No
way.
How is he going to have any ground here?
No, that's crazy. Absolutely not. Come on now. And we lost a legend earlier today. Ozzy Osbourne passed away at the age of 76 after he just did the farewell concert a couple days ago.
No, they knew.
I mean, he had Parkinson's.
Yeah,
to think
boy.
that guy would make 76.
Hell of a life, man.
Yep. Black Sabbath. And then to go on to Ozzy Osbourne, a great band. Bark at the Moon, everything. Saw him live a couple times.
Ice-T came out today and said basically, he said, in my mind, the creators of like heavy metal.
Yeah, yeah. And also, how about the reality TV? That goes back to like 2001, 2002. I remember watching the Osbournes. It was hilarious where you're just following the family around.
And you're like, what is he saying?
Yeah, right.
I can't pick up. Sound like Enzo.
Yeah, right. And then when he did Take Me Out to the Ball Game, you couldn't get any word right. What happened? Very good. Tough loss, though. We miss you, Ozzy. Before the line moves, the sharp place is already there. They don't follow the market. They shape it. You're not going to muscle or outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps all by yourself. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Backed by advanced AI connected to trusted insider sources, Sharp Plays delivers the kind of edge serious bettors count on every day. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X-Feed. Jeff and the crew do a great job at Sharp Plays. They've been with us since day one, and he's been doing it since 2011. Not a summer side hustle. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by the pros, watched by the book. Sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line. Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a top.
You ain't first, you're last.
5.
That's not enough, Dad!
Tuesday.
I've been ready for this my whole life.
Top 5 Tuesday.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Follow the money.
All right, it's been too long. This was good on social media while we were on vacation. I didn't have I couldn't think of 5. But this is top 5 without Googling. Top 5 movies where the villain won. I thought of 7.
Very good.
Awesome movie. So good. Unbelievable ending. Great cast. Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Gwyneth Paltrow. Usual Suspects.
Oh, yeah.
Love that movie.
Yes.
Awesome. Usual Suspects. Guys, are so sick. And now I got Empire Strikes Back on there too, which is on there with Vader and Luke Skywalker. But this one was hard. This is hard to put together. What do you have? I couldn't think of 5.
I got it. So honorable. I'm looking at this like it's like Winner Without Scotty Scheffler. I'm going to put this in my Winner Without Silence of the Lambs category. To me, best movie of all time, best acted movie of all time, best directed, best shot. So
he wins at the end.
He wins at the end.
Hannibal Lecter gets away. I guess you could say that.
Sure, that could be number 1.
But they catch Buffalo Bill, though.
They do. But I was also rooting for Hannibal Lecter the entire time. Like, who wasn't, right? So I'm going to go Winner Without Silence of the Lambs. 2 others that made my honorable mention. Usual Suspects, like you said, probably should be in my top 5. And The Vanishing, late 80s, Kiefer Sutherland. He and his girlfriend or wife are at a gas station ready to go on vacation. She vanishes, and he spends the next 3 years looking for her. Oh, boy, great twist.
Oh, really? The Vanishing?
The Vanishing, very good.
Okay.
Number 5, Fight Club.
Great movie.
Tyler Durden.
Great, one of my favorite characters ever in a movie.
Totally agree. Lives up to it. That's 25, 26 years old. Still good today.
Yeah.
Number 4, I have The Dark Knight. You have to. One of the most famous lines in the entire movie. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He does become the villain in that movie.
Yeah, Harvey Dent does, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 1 could be 1, 2, 3. Number 3, the first time I saw this, I was spooked for days. Incredible twist at the end. The definition of the guy, you didn't see it coming, ultimate villain, and you were not rooting for this guy. Saw.
Great movie.
Part 1.
Yep. Great ending.
Incredible twist at the end.
Yep.
So the villain wins in that movie. Number 2, I have mid-90s, blown away. First time I ever saw this guy act in a movie. Still lives up to it. Edward Norton knocked my socks off at the very end of Primal Fear. And the villain gets away with it. If you've never seen Primal Fear, again, it's almost 30 years old right now. It gets the Mitch Moss stamp of approval. And to me, this is with a bullet in the Winner Without Silence of the Lambs category. Movie villain who wins, Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, is one of the best villains I've ever watched in my entire life in any movie.
Yep.
Period. End of story. And he basically wins at the end. He's got the broken arm after the car accident, but
he shoots the gal. Because remember, he looks for blood on his shoes after
that's
coming
right.
out of the...
Oh yeah, kills her. Yeah.
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 What do I stand to win?
Call it.
Oh, that was a great scene.
Call it.
That was a great scene.
So that's my list. You can let us know your favorite movies where the villain actually wins. Email is ftm@vsin.com, on X at vsin, live at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. I probably should have Usual Suspects on the top 5. Mm-hmm. But I forgot about that one.
Well, I know it's hard. That's why, without Googling, you just got to go rapid fire and just think what comes to your mind. I mean, it takes the fun out of it. You're just going to sit there and... But that's why... This is great to think. How many movies have you seen? How many times has it happened?
Sure.
And I'm sure we're missing some too.
Well, when you first told me that you wanted to do this today, the number 1 that came to my mind was No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
And then it was also Silence of the Lambs, but I'm like, that's too obvious, I think.
Yeah.
And again, like how many of the villains are you actually rooting for?
That's another good question.
You're not rooting for Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
You're certainly not rooting for Jigsaw. And at the very end, who the hell saw that coming with Edward Norton?
Yep. The Usual Suspects was so good.
Oh, God.
7. I like how it's shot. It's so dark. The rain scene, everything. Yeah.
Yep. On the program next, Wes Reynolds. Big Ten guy, excellent at golf. We'll get some of his best bets from both sports coming up next here on VSiN.